all the teams left are pretty strong, and if we play like we did today, I don't see us beating any of them.
Alright, today was the start of round 4 at Worlds 2025, and I'm in the presence of Massu of FlyQuest, AD carry of the team, unfortunately, after a loss against G2 Esports. And Massu, I'm sure this one has to sting. Obviously, there is the regional rivalry, but beyond that as well, it was a ticket to the bracket stage. What do you think went wrong today against G2, and what led you to lose in this match today?
I think a lot of things were wrong, of course, but mainly I think when I was in a winning position or when I had a big opportunity to really swing the game, I either did not make any good plan to take advantage of that, or I just did not capitalize on it. And I feel like had I done that, especially in game 2 when we had a very strong lane into the Zyra con, then their game would have been much harder and we would have had a way bigger lead from the early game. And then I think we just didn't know how we wanted to fight. And a lot of the team fights ended up with one person getting caught out, or we were very split, or we forget to mark someone. So, yeah.
I think the story of today's best of 3 as well, it felt like both teams in some way were very indecisive in moments and were lacking in proactivity as well. I think game 1 is the reason why G2 lost as well. I feel like they probably didn't play very proactive, and then afterwards it kind of shifted the other way around in a way, and it was a very big difference from the best of 3 that we saw earlier today as well. What do you think is the reason why both teams today felt like they played much more controlled and scared as well? Or I mean, do you think it's because they were scared or something?
I think a lot of it has to just do with like the comps we were playing and kind of just timers in the game where we thought we were weaker or they thought they were weaker, I guess. But I do think for sure both teams were pretty undecisive. So it led to people maybe like balling up mid for longer than they should have and not going to the side waves early enough. I think that's a problem that we had and a problem that they had as well. And other than that, I feel like both teams were a bit like scared or nervous, I guess, because it is like a bracket stage game. So yeah, I think both teams were pretty undecisive.
Obviously, a lot of people have commented, as always, about the Swiss draws that happened, right? And for you, you've had, before this match, aside from the very first match against T1, a draw that was pretty favorable in terms of matchups. You got to face off against VKS, the second seed that you already beat in the LTA finals, and also Team Secret Worlds, which is seen as one of the, on paper, weaker opponents at Worlds as well. Do you feel like FlyQuest in a way was left a bit untested in the first rounds as well, and that this could have done a disfavor, I guess, for you guys because you didn't get pushed enough?
I think it would be a big excuse to say that. I think we were tested enough in scrims. We were definitely getting enough whoopings in practice to be able to know our bad habits and know our mistakes and our problems and try to fix them. So I don't think us having a lucky draw caused us to play worse on stage.
What do you think is the peak level of FlyQuest right now? I mean, obviously today we couldn't see the best FlyQuest as well. Do you think like it was a bit uncharacteristic to what you can truly show at this tournament, or do you think that FlyQuest is kind of trailing behind still and that you will have a lot of work in the next 3 days?
We definitely have a lot of work in the next 3 days, and I do think we have a lot to show. Whether we show it or not, at this point I'm not sure. We just have to try our best to. And yeah, I think for sure we are much stronger than we show.
I want to talk more about your history as a player as well, because obviously you're still pretty young in general, and this is just the second time that you've been at Worlds. Last year, the very first time, you already made it to quarterfinals in your first year. You even made it to 5 games against Gen.G as well. How do you reflect on your expectations at this Worlds as well, considering the success that you already got so early on as well? Do you feel like you need to achieve more than that to feel rewarded in a way from your performance at Worlds?
I think even if last year we didn't make it to quarters and have a really close series against Gen.G, I would feel the same way, which is I want to make it at least to the semifinals. And that's just, as a player, what I want to do, what I like to do, because I don't want to come into Worlds and get knocked out in 1 week and then have to go into the off season and not be able to play again. So at least the semifinals would be my goal.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, what do you think is the way to fix things before the next round, which is in 3 days, right? Because you have very little time as well. And as you said, there's a lot of work to be done. So what is the way to make sure that FlyQuest can get through, especially since you are going to most likely get a very difficult opponent in next round?
I think for now, what we can do is kind of put on band-aids or just slightly fix stuff. I think we have to all reset somehow, play our own game and kind of make our own decisions in the game and make a plan together and be on the same page. I feel like that's the quickest way we can bring some consistency back.
Yeah. And among the opponents you could face, just looking at my notes as well, there's the expected ones are obviously their CFO that already dropped down today. There's most likely going to be like BLG, right, that are playing against Wonder Thieves. There's Top Esports as well that are playing against Gen.G, which I think are pretty likely. And aside from this, there's MKOI as well. Which opponent would you like to get next round? Who do you think is like the easiest or the hardest for you?
I mean, all the teams left are pretty good for sure.
Yeah, you cannot face T1 again, so that's good.
Oh, we can't face them again?
You cannot get them again.
And AL is already
through, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like CFO, you, MKOI, probably TES, BLG, and
yeah. I think all the teams left are pretty strong, and if we play like we did today, I don't see us beating any of them. So I think who we draw doesn't matter. I think we have to focus on our problems right now and do our best to fix them.
Yeah, and I mean, aside from this as well, I think one of the big questions in everyone's mind in North America is that FlyQuest has a lot of players who could be going into the off-season and ending up joining other teams in the future, and 100 Thieves as well themselves are going to be leaving the league, right? So there's going to be a lot of changes. Do you feel like this year is important as well for North America to get good results, because otherwise it could lead to even like an exodus of like import players in the future?
For sure, I think having a good showing will either make people more hopeful or kind of more invested in the league. Though I'm not sure it would completely like 180 everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure what next year might look like. So we just have to do our best right now.
Yeah. All right. Aside from this, I mean, I just wanted to ask you, like, how's the experience as well been for you in China? I mean, I know for you, like, as we said, you're still like pretty new to all this as well. This is only your second time at Worlds. Last year was in Europe, which I can imagine was very different as well.
Yeah.
Have you felt like you adapted well as well, and how are you doing mentally as well, being like in this environment of like strict work, I guess, in China and being far away from home and everything?
I'm adapting pretty easily to wherever we go at this point. I've flown like so many times this year and last year, so adapting isn't really an issue for me. And for the environment, I think when you come to Worlds, the tension is at its highest, and that's kind of what makes or breaks the really good teams. So coming into it, you just have to come with like a strong mentality and be able to focus on your goal and what you need to work on as a team. Because it becomes pretty easy to kind of lose confidence or lose confidence in your teammates, stuff like that. So my mentality coming in is just to learn as much as possible and do my best.
All right, perfect. We are going to have to close off, but is there anything you want to say to the American fans in general to make sure that they stay confident as well for your chances in the next round?
Um, we didn't have the best showing today, and I think it gets pretty tiring to hear that because I say it pretty often, and I'm sure by our next series we'll be able to have a better performance and try to leave Worlds without regrets. So thank you for supporting us.
Perfect. Massu, in any case, thank you so much for taking the time today. I wish you the best of luck in next round. Obviously, even if I'm from Europe myself, I will still be rooting for you guys. We are all Western fans in the end, right? So I wish you obviously to go through no matter who you face. For now, have a good rest in the meantime. Good luck with practice as well. And hopefully we get to talk to you again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.